Continuing an incredible legacy by not just President Carter, but his wife, Rosalind, as well. Rebecca, thank you so much.
Absolutely.
And of course, we know that people here in Atlanta are certainly honoring the former president, but perhaps no place greater than his hometown of Plains, Georgia. Mr. Carter loved his hometown, and they loved him right back. Right now, we want to turn things over to 11 Alive's Joe Ripley, who is down in Plains. Joe, what is the atmosphere like there this afternoon?
Yeah, good afternoon to you, Jonathan. President Carter certainly made a name for himself all over the world. But before that, he was just known as Jimmy from Plains. Humility is one word that certainly defines our nation's 39th president. As you can see, we are out live in front of Maranatha Baptist Church, where President Carter taught Sunday school for several years. His faith, a big part of his life, very important to him and his wife, Rosalind, as was his hometown of Plains and his boyhood farm just down the road in Archery. Carter learned so much from this small town of Plains. Attention to detail first from his father, Earl, respect for others, and a love of learning from his mother, Lillian. President Carter would come back to Plains to reflect during several key moments during his life: when he left the Navy, when he decided to run for governor, when he decided to run for the White House, and once he left the White House. We caught up earlier with Philip Kirkland, who's owned the Plains Trading Post in downtown Plains for over 30 years. He says it's not surprising small town of Plains held a big place in President Carter's heart.
We're 700 some odd people. On some days, you can't get 8 people to say the sun is shining, but we all love each other, we work together, and we all look out for each other. And we love people from all over the world.
Just to give you an idea of just how much Plains made an impression on President Carter, I'll give you a quote of his. It says, quote, "Ordinary people can do extraordinary things and make history in the process." President Carter certainly did that. And tonight, here at Maranatha Baptist Church, the place where he taught Sunday school for all those years, is going to hold a vigil commemorating his life and his legacy. We're live here in Plains. Joe Ripley, 11 Alive News.
Yeah, great to see his incredible impact across the world, but certainly in his hometown of Plains, Georgia. Our Joe Ripley there live. And we're going to be out here live all afternoon and all evening sharing more stories about former President Jimmy Carter, specifically some of his work with Habitat for Humanity, not just his work, but his wife Rosalind's work as well. But right now we're going to toss it back to Angelina in our studio.
Jonathan, thank you so much. A wonderful encapsulation of his life and his legacy. Well, streaming right now on 11 Alive Plus, we have full coverage of President Carter's life and legacy, including extended interviews with Dr. Bernice A. King and Martin Luther King Jr. III on former President Carter's legacy of promoting racial justice. Just search 11 Alive on your Roku, Amazon Fire, or Apple TV to watch for free.